Okay.
While this is taking place, Brittney Griner comes out and says, I am so sick and tired of the WNBA. It used to be a peaceful, small little thing. Now there's crowds screaming, hollering. This is disruptive. It's not allowing us to play the game. This is her quote. I don't know if you saw this or not when she gave that.
Patrick Bet-David delivered one of the most blunt reality checks ever heard on a podcast. Brittney Griner made controversial remarks about Caitlin Clark, suggesting racial undertones, which quickly sparked widespread discussion and debate.
From 41. What the hell is going on with WNBA that they cannot handle all this attention that they're getting, as well as the hate and anger?
But Patrick Bet-David wasn't buying any of it. He pushed back hard, reminding Brittney Griner of her time in a Russian prison and dismantling her complaints about crowd noise. The response was absolutely ruthless. Whether it was him bringing up her imprisonment or explaining why she should appreciate any attention the WNBA receives, the moment was undeniably brutal and satisfying to watch.
I'd have fun with you. Brittney Griner, where she says, right there, watch this. Every time we play her, there's this commotion, like this loud rumbling from the stands. Turns out it's people, thousands of them, just sitting there watching.
Let's be honest about what went down on Patrick Bet-David's podcast. Brittney Griner received one of the harshest reality checks of her career while complaining about crowd noise and making subtle racial remarks about Caitlin Clark. PBD didn't hold back, pointing out uncomfortable truths that Griner seemed to have forgotten during her time away from basketball. The controversy began with Griner's ridiculous claim that the WNBA used to be a quiet, peaceful place where fans could bring their laptops and work during games. Imagine that, a professional athlete criticizing fans for being too loud and engaged during sporting events. The audacity is shocking, and it becomes even more striking when you consider who is making these complaints.
Used to be a chill, quiet place. You could bring your laptop and relax, maybe even get a little work done. But now, it's like there's large gatherings of people watching us from the stands. Some of them are yelling crazy shit about what they're seeing, putting unfair pressure on us to score, like we're there for their entertainment. You are! The whole thing is toxic. I saw a guy with his daughter in the crowd, both of them yelling, couldn't hear what they were saying exactly, but it was either my performance or some light racism. But
Brittney Griner claimed that WNBA games used to be calm and quiet, and now there are large, noisy crowds, some yelling about what they see. She complained about the pressure to perform, as if the fans' energy shouldn't matter. Here's the reality, Griner. Professional athletes are literally there for entertainment. The most concerning part was when she described seeing a father and daughter in the crowd. She couldn't hear what they were saying, but assumed it was either criticism of her play or light racism. Yes, she actually used the term light racism to describe fans cheering at a basketball game. Her immediate assumption of racial motives revealed a lot about her perspective on the situation. Patrick Bet-David didn't hold back. He reminded everyone that Griner had recently been imprisoned in Russia, locked up on serious charges, and was only freed through a prisoner exchange that involved releasing a known arms dealer nicknamed the Merchant of Death. His point was clear. These complaints about crowd noise were trivial compared to the real dangers she had faced.
Brittney Griner was in a Russian prison. You would think that somebody who is now free, back in America on home soil, would not have too much to complain about, especially something like this.
The prisoner swap that secured Brittney Griner's return involved releasing Victor Bout, a convicted international arms trafficker. He was freed by the U.S. government as part of the deal to bring Griner home, a move that underscored just how serious and extraordinary the situation really was.
It doesn't matter what sport you are. It doesn't matter what sport you pick. That's how fans act in every arena. In every arena. So, and then when you, clearly she's not remembering who they let out to get her back.
The Merchant of Death.
The Merchant of Death. An arms dealer that wanted to kill American citizens.
After returning home to the United States and getting the chance to play the sport she loves in front of excited fans, Brittney Griner chose to complain about noise levels. Patrick Bet-David's response was harsh but fair. You would expect someone who endured imprisonment in a foreign country to have a deeper appreciation for freedom and opportunity. Instead, Griner framed fan enthusiasm as something disturbing rather than energizing, which highlighted how disconnected her perspective has become. The timing made her comments even more absurd. They came just as the WNBA is experiencing unprecedented growth in popularity and revenue, with the league projected to reach a billion-dollar valuation for the first time in its 25-year history. Much of that surge can be credited to the attention Caitlin Clark has brought to women's basketball. That's what makes Griner's remarks especially insulting. She criticized the very factors — crowds, noise, excitement — that are directly responsible for higher revenues, stronger television deals, and increased salaries for players across the league. The racial undertones in Griner's comments revealed a deeper issue some players have with Clark's success. The frustration isn't really about basketball skill or on-court performance. It's about the reality that a young white player is attracting mainstream attention that black players in the league have not received, despite years of excellence. Patrick Bet-David addressed this dynamic head-on. He acknowledged that Clark's race may play a role in the attention she receives, but he also emphasized that her talent alone justifies the spotlight. Clark finished fourth in MVP voting in only her second year in the league. Her exciting style of play translates well to television, and her competitive edge resonates with casual fans, qualities that make her success earned, not manufactured.
WNBA says they want to get paid more. They're saying this year they're going to make $1 billion. That's what they're saying, okay? For the first time ever. Now that Caitlin Clark is hurt for 2 weeks, did you see ticket prices? Insane. Let me read you the ticket prices. After Caitlin Clark's been hurt for 2 weeks. All right? So let's go through this. Caitlin Clark absence is having an immediate impact beyond the court. According to data shared by Yahoo Sports via TickPick, prices for 2 specific Indiana Fever away games against the Chicago Sky and the Washington Mystics dropped sharply after Clark was sidelined. Before the injury, the lowest ticket available for Fever's matchup in Chicago was $86. For the game in Washington, fans needed at least $41 to get in. After the news of Clark's absence, those get-in prices fell to $25 from $86 and $14.
The ticket price data Patrick Bet-David referenced on the podcast tells the real story about who is driving the WNBA's surge in popularity. When Caitlin Clark was injured, ticket prices for Indiana Fever games dropped immediately. Chicago ticket prices fell from $86 to $25, while Washington tickets dropped from $41 to $14. Those aren't minor fluctuations, they're market collapses that happen when the main attraction is no longer available. That context makes Brittney Griner's complaints about crowd noise even more absurd. For most of the WNBA's first 24 years, games were played in nearly empty arenas. Players were comfortable with that environment because it came with no pressure, no expectations, and little accountability to paying fans. Caitlin Clark's arrival changed that dynamic overnight, and it's clear that not everyone was prepared for the shift. Griner's description of the old WNBA as a place where fans could bring laptops and get work done perfectly explains why the league struggled for so long. Games were treated more like casual pickup runs than professional entertainment worth paying for. That mindset is a major reason the WNBA lost money for 25 straight years. Patrick Bet-David's response cut through the noise because he refused to let Griner retreat into victim narratives or racial grievances. He brought the discussion back to objective reality. She was rescued from imprisonment overseas, returned home, and is now earning more money playing basketball than the league has ever generated. Her response to that opportunity was to complain about fan enthusiasm. His comparison to other professional sports further dismantled her argument. In the NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL, loud crowds, hostile road environments, and intense fan pressure are standard parts of the job. They aren't viewed as burdens that require special treatment. They're expected. Griner's perspective suggests that WNBA players should enjoy the benefits of professional sports, higher salaries, recognition, and visibility, without accepting the pressure and expectations that come with entertaining paying customers. That model doesn't exist in any professional league, anywhere in the world. The reference to Griner's time in a Russian prison was especially brutal because it exposed how tone-deaf her complaints sounded. This is someone who experienced real oppression, real loss of freedom, and serious consequences, yet chose to criticize Americans for being excited about basketball games. Patrick Bet-David also addressed the broader resentment some WNBA players feel toward Caitlin Clark's success. He acknowledged that frustration is natural when one player receives attention others believe they deserve. But he pointed out that this happens in every sport when a transformative talent emerges. The comparison to Michael Jordan was especially fitting. Jordan faced resentment from peers who believed he received too much attention, to the point where the Detroit Pistons created the infamous Jordan rules to stop him physically and mentally. That resentment existed not because the media inflated his importance, but because his impact was undeniable.
And she wreaks havoc. She's the Rookie of the Year. She's 4th in the league in MVP voting. 4th in the league, her rookie year.
Wow.
Outstanding. She's like Steph Curry. She can pull up from anywhere. You understand? She has that kind of capability. Didn't win a national championship. Lost to LSU one year. Lost to South Carolina another year. But she's outstanding and clearly worthy of being the number 1 overall pick. And what I was saying to everybody is ride the wave. Rising tide lifts all boats. The girl is spectacular. It's not like she's not a scrub. She's not only can play, she's a star caliber player who draws this attention. And maybe it's because that fan base that she has and her being a young white lady.
The attention Caitlin Clark receives is driven by measurable impact, ticket sales, TV ratings, merchandise, and social media engagement, not media narratives or opinions. That's why Brittney Griner's complaints about racial undertones and crowd reactions are so troubling. Assuming excited fans, even families cheering in the stands, are motivated by racism reflects a mindset focused on grievance rather than opportunity. Patrick Bet-David highlighted the contrast between Griner's imprisonment in Russia and her current complaints about American fans, emphasizing gratitude and perspective. With the WNBA finally experiencing historic growth fueled largely by Clark's popularity, criticizing fan enthusiasm risks pushing the league back toward empty arenas and financial losses. PBD's message was clear. Mainstream success comes with pressure, scrutiny, and loud crowds, and gratitude matters more than grievances.